Have you ever wondered what the deadliest wars in history were and how they reshaped our world? Today we're embarking on a journey through history, unraveling the stories of the top 10 wars that have shaken the world to its core. We're defining deadliest, not just by the staggering number of casualties, but also by the societal impact and the long-term consequences that have rippled through time. Let's delve into the annals of history and explore the wars that have left an indelible mark on humanity. Our journey begins in the ancient world, a time of empires, pharaohs, and mighty civilizations. This era, while known for its advancements in philosophy, arts, and science, was also marked by intense, bloody conflicts. First, let's travel to the heart of ancient Greece, where the Peloponnesian War raged on for over 27 years. This war, a bitter struggle between the powerful city-states of Athens and Sparta, left a lasting imprint on the Hellenic world. Key figures like the Athenian leader Pericles and Spartan general Lysander played pivotal roles, their strategic decisions influencing the tides of battle. Next, we turn to the Punic Wars, a series of 3 wars fought over a span of over 100 years between the 2 great powers of the ancient Mediterranean, Rome and Carthage. These wars were marked by the military genius of Carthaginian general Hannibal and the relentless tenacity of Rome. The Battle of Zama, where Scipio Africanus finally defeated Hannibal, marked the end of Carthage's power and the beginning of Rome's ascendancy. Then there's the An Rebellion, a devastating conflict that engulfed the Tang dynasty of China for nearly 8 years. Led by the charismatic general An Lushan, this rebellion resulted in a death toll that was unprecedented, shaking the very foundations of one of the world's most powerful empires. Despite the rebellion's eventual failure, its impact was profound, leading to significant changes in the Chinese political and social landscapes. These ancient wars, brutal as they were not mere episodes of senseless violence. They were turning points that shaped the destinies of nations and civilizations. They brought forth military innovations, strategic masterminds, and heroic tales that continue to echo through the annals of history. Even in ancient times, wars had the power to redraw borders, topple empires, and change the course of history. As we delve deeper into the past, we gain a better understanding of the present, and perhaps a glimpse into the future. As we move into the Middle Ages, we witness the onset of wars that spanned continents and reshaped societies. The Mongol conquests, for instance, were a series of invasions led by the fearless and ruthless Genghis Khan. They stretched from Eastern Europe to the Sea of Japan, creating the largest contiguous empire in human history. The Mongols' terrifying horsemanship and innovative warfare tactics devastated entire civilizations, leaving an indelible mark on Eurasia's cultural landscape. Then, there was the 100 Years' War, a drawn-out struggle between England and France. This war was a crucible for iconic figures like King Edward III, the Black Prince, and Joan of Arc. It was a key catalyst for the development of national identities, with both England and France emerging from the conflict with a renewed sense of self. The 100 Years' War also saw the advent of new military technologies, such as the longbow, which dramatically altered the face of warfare. No discussion of the Middle Ages would be complete without mentioning the Crusades, a series of religious wars between Christians and Muslims. Fueled by faith and a desire for control over the Holy Land, these wars were marked by moments of great heroism and shocking brutality. The Crusades had a profound effect on the world, deepening the divide between the Christian and Islamic worlds, while also fostering an early form of globalism through cultural exchange and trade. These were not just wars, they were cataclysmic events that reshaped nations, cultures, and entire continents. They brought about the rise and fall of empires, triggered advancements in military technology, and forever changed the course of human history. The Middle Ages, a time of knights and castles, also bore witness to some of the deadliest wars in history. The advent of the modern era brought with it new technologies and with them an unprecedented scale of destruction. As we moved into the 19th century, warfare began to change dramatically. During the Napoleonic Wars, strategies evolved, and the concept of total war came into play. This was a form of warfare that mobilized all of a society's resources, economic, political, and cultural, in support of the military effort. The Napoleonic Wars also marked the beginning of the end for the old aristocratic armies, as nations realized the power of a citizen army. Fast forward to the mid-19th century, and we see the American Civil War. a conflict that would claim more American lives than any other in history. It was during this war that we saw the advent of the rifled musket, which had a longer range and greater accuracy than previous firearms. This weapon, combined with outdated military tactics, resulted in horrific casualties on both sides. Then came World War I, known as the Great War, a conflict that would redefine the meaning of warfare. This was a war of attrition, where victory was measured not in ground gained, but in the number of enemy soldiers killed. It was a war fought in trenches with machine guns, artillery, and poison gas. It was a war where old world tactics met new world technology, with devastating results. The war also marked the introduction of tanks and aircraft into combat, forever changing the nature of warfare. But perhaps the most significant impact of these wars was the sheer scale of destruction. Never before had humanity witnessed such loss of life. The devastation was not limited to the battlefield. Civilians, too, were affected on an unprecedented scale. Cities were destroyed, economies were shattered, and societies were left to pick up the pieces. These wars, with their industrialized warfare and massive casualties, changed the face of conflict. They brought about new strategies, new weapons, and a new understanding of the cost of war. The modern era, with its industrialized warfare, truly revealed the horrifying potential of human conflict. In the contemporary age, wars have become more complex, involving a multitude of nations and causing destruction on a global scale. World War II, a conflict that spanned 6 years from 1939 to 1945, was a war like no other. It was a cataclysmic event that forever changed the course of human history. Fueled by a toxic combination of aggressive nationalism, racism, and territorial ambitions, this war saw the most significant loss of life in recorded history. It was a war that demonstrated the terrifying potential of nuclear weapons and set the stage for the bipolar world of the Cold War. Next came the Korean War, starting in 1950 and lasting 3 years. It was a war of ideologies, pitting the communist North, supported by China and the Soviet Union, against the democratic South, backed by the United States and its allies. The conflict ended in a stalemate, leaving the Korean peninsula divided to this day. This war was a stark reminder of the deep divisions and ideological battles of the Cold War. The Vietnam War, spanning from 1955 to 1975, was another proxy conflict of the Cold War. It was a brutal and divisive conflict, characterized by guerrilla warfare, widespread civilian casualties, and profound social and political upheaval. It was a war that questioned the morality of warfare and left an indelible mark on the American psyche. In the new millennium, the Syrian civil war, unfolding since 2011, is a stark reminder of the complexities of contemporary warfare. Fueled by political unrest, religious differences, and international intervention, this war has resulted in horrific humanitarian crises and widespread destruction. Wars today not only cause unimaginable human suffering, but also have far-reaching impacts that resonate across the globe. These conflicts have shaped our world, influenced our politics, and altered the course of human history. From the ashes of these wars, we're left to grapple with their devastating legacy and the challenge of building a more peaceful future. In the end, every war, no matter how big or small, leaves behind a trail of destruction and pain. This sentiment rings true as we reflect on the conflicts we've journeyed through today, from the ancient battles to the modern-day wars. Each conflict, regardless of its era or scale, has etched its mark on the annals of history with the lives it claimed, the societies it shattered, and the nations it transformed. These wars serve as stark reminders of the devastating impact of violence and the importance of striving for peace. They underscore the value of diplomacy and negotiation in resolving conflicts, and the need to learn from our collective past to prevent future devastations. From the staggering death toll of World War II to the complexities and ongoing human suffering in the Syrian civil war, these conflicts reveal the grim reality of warfare. They remind us of the courage and resilience of those who endured, the sacrifices made, and the profound lessons we must carry forward. Let these histories serve not just as tales of destruction, but as sobering lessons. Lessons that teach us about the human capacity for both destruction and resilience, about the futility of conflict and the necessity of peace. As we look back at these deadly wars, let's remember the lessons they teach us and strive for a future where peace prevails over war.